Hello, this is Alan from Team Shockwave, and we have.
Tucker Lock.
And what are you doing? What deck are you bringing today?
Satellarknight.
Satellarknight, all right. And what place did you top with this?
I got 8th place at the Nanuet New York region.
All right, let's get right to it.
Alright, so we obviously play Greater Net. This card's a +1 whenever you summon it, and Altair. It's pretty much a Wolf Park, and this is also a +1 when you get out Deneb. So these two together are a +2, and that's what makes this deck really good. And then we have triple Unikale. He's basically an Armageddon Knight to don't get Deneb most of the time. He combos really well with Call the Haunted and Oasis of Dragon Souls. And 1 Vega. I only play 1 Vega because this can break at 2 or 3. So yeah, 1 is perfect, especially with 4 copies of Call the Haunted. And 2 Honest. Honest is one of my favorite techs because it just gets over unicorns really easily and any other big monsters, so that's why I play Honest. So yeah, that's about 12 monsters, and we'll get into the spells. Triple reinforcement on the army. It just searches out any monster except for Honest, and it's just super good. I play 3 Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is very good for adding consistency to your deck, and really the 1,000 life points don't matter because you're just gonna swing in for big pushes with Trigger. So yeah, and it essentially makes the deck a 37 card deck. So yeah. The last 2 spells are Book-a-Moon and Raigeki. These 2 are your main outs to Dijin Lock. I like Book-a-Moon as the best Dijin Lock because you can use it on your turn, and it doesn't actually destroy the Dijin, so your opponent cannot use their ritual spells from grave to search and +1. Traps, we play triple Alpha. Alpha is absolutely amazing in this deck. It's a 2 for 2, but if you can negate any of your opponent's cards, then it's pretty much a 3-0. Play triple Mind Crush. Mind Crush is a very good tech because whenever your opponent would activate Kaleidoscope, more than 90% of the time they would have Unicorn. So I would just call Unicorn with Mind Crush and then they would go -2. And also if they have Brio in hand, then they would have to reveal their extra deck to show a level 6, or if they don't have a level 6, then that's fine. Because you know that you have a Brio, and you just see their whole extra deck, what they have. Also play 3 Phoenix Chain. This is very good with Trigger because you can just keep bouncing it, and especially if you Phoenix Chain like an extra deck monster like Daigusto Emerald, which Necros players like to do a lot of time. So yeah, and it's really good against Rising Sentry because those are also +1s like Deneb, so you want to Phoenix Chain those. Mirror Force is very good because it gets over unicorns and Trishula that you don't really have out to, and also if you draw this, then you can just set it and then activate it on an established board, and then you're right back into it. I actually did this once. I was going to lose a game because I had like 1,800 life points and my opponent had a Trish and a Senju, so I just set this, and then I tried to act like I didn't draw anything good, but then I just Mirror Forced, and then after that I just summoned Altair and then just escaped. Triple Call the Haunted and 1 Oasis of Dragon Souls. This card is done up because like if you use Altair, like use this, summon Altair, Deneb, and then you summon Altair again and do your plays, and then you overlay for Satellarknight Trigger, you can bounce to Call the Haunted again. So you can just basically recycle everything, and Call the Haunted is pretty much a +3, which is super good, and it just grants you so much advantage. For our one-ofs, we play Emptiness, Ring of Destruction, Bottomless, and Solemn Warning. These cards are absolutely needed in this Satellarknight deck because these are just your 4 strongest traps, and they really need no explaining. Like, these cards just get over anything. And Ring of Destruction is definitely my favorite trap out of my whole deck because it's just my favorite out to Dijin Lock. You just pop one of their Colossalises and then you just burn both their 12. It's amazing. So do you want to go extra?
Yeah, extra.
Okay. The best Satellarknight monster in this deck is Satellarknight Trigger. You just bounce every card in the field, and then you can detach 1 to make your opponent discard 1 random card. It's just so amazing. What I like to do in the tournament was make Trigger, and then use effect to bounce everything, and then detach 1, and then sometimes I would just make another Trigger, so then I can detach another one, and then bounce my other Trigger back to my opponent. There's no restriction on how many times you can use the effect of the Trigger once per turn, so you can just keep using it. I play Deltaros. Delteros is good because sometimes it just pop itself, so then I can just summon Altair and Nanuet once again, but I never summon Delteros anytime. I played two diamond because the BA matchup is a really on and off matchup. Like it's a 50-50, and if you get diamond out and you protect it with Omega, then you pretty much have the whole game. So that's why I play two. And yeah, I played Stellar Omega because Diamond is just super good with this, because if your opponent has Raigeki or Phoenix Wing Moonblast, then they can't target any of these, and pretty much your plays are safe. And yeah, you have the game right there if you play against me. For one of us, we play Castell, Dweller, Rhapsody. These three are your main cards against Necroz. This gets over any monster that you summon, except for Unicorn. And this gets rid of your ritual spells, and this does too. I play Buchinte Tsukiyomi because whenever you run out of the Altairs and then you search an Unukali with Deneb, you can just summon Tsukiyomi and then you ditch the Unukali and then draw two new cards, and usually those are going to be trap cards because all of your Altairs are gone and one of your Denebs are gone or more. So yeah, it just sets up really good deals with Tsukiyomi. Emerald because whenever you run out of Altairs, you want to get them back immediately, so you just get Emerald. Evolve Chain, I never played it in a tournament, but I would still play it because whenever you have Vega and Unukali, you just summon them and then you overlay for Evolve Chain, and you use Evolve Chain to stack Altair. You obviously dump the Deneb for Unukali, and then next turn you have an Altair Deneb. Evil Strong Exoton Knight, I didn't summon it, but whenever you go into a disadvantage, you always want to Exoton Knight. If your opponent has like 4 or 5 cards in the field, they just automatically go so neg. Ragnar Zero, I summoned this once against Fire Fist and it ran a train against them.
Fire Fist?
Yeah, Fire Fist. I played Fire Fist and this card just did work against them. And this card's a +2, which I really love. And also it's good against your Senju. Like, any tech that plays tanky, they just so good with them. And last but not least, we play Cowboy. Cowboy is just your burn for 800 or whatever. So yeah, now we're going to side deck. Play triple anti-spell fragrance. Anti-spell fragrance is so good in this deck because whenever you face Necroz, you just activate this in their standby phase, and if they don't have MST, next turn you can just trigger and then bounce this back along with all their spells, and then you just activate it again. So basically they're locked out of spells for the whole game, meaning they can't summon any of the ritual monsters. So yeah. Then I play triple shared ride. Even though it's a spell, you can still side it in against Necroz because this is a quick play and you have to set it, and you wouldn't use it on your turn. So yeah, shared ride is essentially a maxi against Necroz, and maxi is good against Necroz, but this is even better because if you use this against their turn 1 plays, then they just can't get anything out of it. I play triple MST. Any deck that's other than Necroz or Thrall, you basically side in all these. And I heard that Burning Abyss likes to make Mistake a lot, so I would side 3 of these because Mistake can do a lot of damage against his stats. I played 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, 2 Maxi, 2 Flying Sea. These cards are good against the Mirror and MST too, but Shadow Imprisoning Mirror does a lot of work against Burning Abyss. I side all of these against Burning Abyss, and they just work wonders. As long as you have enough for variety against Burning Abyss, because they really can't do anything if you have each one of these 3.
Alright, so that was deck profile. How were your, well, let's go with this first. Were there any cards in your deck that you wanted to change as main side or even extra?
Well, the new set that's coming out with number 86, I do want to play that. And the only change I would make is cut 1 Mirror Force for Soul Charge, because you can just Soul Charge for 2 monsters and then get out a Rungamian really well. And I don't think the Star Straps are going to be that good because I looked at their effects and I don't think they're that good because they can just break really easily and they're not that consistent, which I really love in such elements.
Okay, and how were your matchups this tournament? How many Necross players did you play against?
I faced 2 Necross and I 2-0'd them both. So I'll go through each round. Round 1 I faced Nefarious. Nefarious aren't really a good matchup at all. Sorry. I know that they're trying to summon Bamboo Shoot, so I would usually just stop it before they can. Round 2, I faced Necroz. I 2-0'd him because I just opened Anti-Spell Fragrance in my opening hand, game 2, and I just...
Well, you side 3 of them, so...
Yeah. Game 3, I faced BA, and I opened Shadow Imprisoning Mirror against him game 2, and Unukalai with Call the Hunted, and I made a diamond, so I just took that game easily. Game 4.
Round 4.
Round 4 was against Satellarknight, Samir. So I think I'm the best Satellarknight player ever, so...
Don't get a little too cocky there.
I just sided these 3 in, and
Don't be a David Wu.
and game 1 was just really grindy because both was bricks, which really doesn't happen often, but then I drew my Unukalais and I just ran over it. And round 5 against Heroes, it was my only loss, and here's what happened. It's kind of stupid, but yeah. So my opening hand was Deneb, Alpha, Mirror Force, and Altair and Deneb. I mean, Altair and Vega. So I just summoned Deneb, and then I searched my stuff, and then I set 2. My opponent, he activates a hero list, so he pays half, and then I'm like Alpha. So yeah, I draw 1, and then he MSCs my Mirror Force. And then he proceeds to activate another hero list, and then OTK me with a Blade Armor Ninja and a Hero Champion Excalibur. So that was a sad game. And then game 2, I opened triple Mirror Force and 2 Maxi. I can't do anything about that.
That was your only loss?
Yeah, that was one of my losses.
One of your losses?
Yeah. So that was an inevitable FTK and OTK.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really do anything about that. Round 6, I faced against Fire Fist, and it was a 2-1, so he did take 1 game. But eventually I just kept on mind crushing him, and it was just game over. Round 7 was another Necroz, and I made a double trigger play, so I just summoned trigger twice, and then discarded 2 cards from his hand. He tried to Denko second me, but then I had the Honest in hand, and then when it came back again, he dropped it on when he had 2 back row, so then I was like Mind Crush, and then I discarded 2 Unicorn after his Kaleidoscope, and it was just so negative. And then round 8, unfortunately, I played against Burning Abyss, and he opened 5 back row, one of them being a mistake, and I had the Neb in hand, and that was my only answer, so I summoned the Neb, he chained mistake, and then I just kept poking with him, and then he eventually drew into his Scraps and Sears, and then he just kept cycling, and then yeah, I just kept on drawing Rotas and not my MSTs. So, yeah. And then game 2, he opened pretty good. He opened Tour Guide, and I opened I opened Altair, Honest, and 3 relevant back row. So then I just couldn't win that game because he just made Virgil and then back row, and I couldn't honest anything. So yeah. And that was 8-round regional. And I went X2, and I lucked out and got 8th place.
Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the project profile. Any shoutouts before we end out?
Shoutouts to Charlie Kidd. He was the one that got first place, and he was a hero player that I faced round 5, and he just went XO, and I think he throwed every single one of his opponents.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty good. All right. Thank you. This is Alan. See ya.